It's not red. Oh, there we go. Now it's red. Okay, so we're recording. I have Vegas. I can cut this out. So, you ready?
Ready.
Alright. Well, here goes. I'm going to go into first person and full screen. We're going to test this little tiny portal clone I've made. That's pretty much a rough start, but, it gets the job done.
Ignore the minimalistic textures if there are any.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's no textures, actually. It's just shading. There's full physics in this environment. You can jump. It's a little bit like Half-Life 2 controls. There's no crouching yet. I don't know if I can make it all the way up into that box. And these are the portals. They have no apparent appearance of portals, but, oh, and that's also a little UV error at the bottom. But trust me, they are portals.
Ignore.
And in order to prove this, alley-oop. Here we go. Oh, and it works the other way, too.
As with the standard portal, there is no distinction between one or the other.
Yeah, except there will be distinction eventually. This is the blue portal, and that's the orange portal if it ever comes up. You can see that there's a whole bunch of lines on the screen. Those are my debugging lines. I forgot to turn those off. I'll show you them in third person. They come in handy. For now, just ignore them. I need to fix the UVs over there, too. That doesn't look exactly right, but here goes. Here you go. Just like portal, your angle when you enter the portal is preserved on the outside, as well as your velocity. In the original portal it said momentum, but momentum is mass times velocity, and obviously the mass of the object doesn't change, so same. Again, this works in reverse.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity.
Yes, thank you, Cody.
In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing goes out.
Now, I just want to prove that the portal actually works on any physics object and not just the player. So I'm going to take this...
Get ready to fling yourself. Fling into space.
Alright, get ready. It's going to come out there and it's going to push over that way a little bit. Here goes. Doink. There you go. The portal works with any physics object that can enter its boundary. However, it behaves a little rottenly when you try to push in things exactly sideways, or if you enter it from the back. I would not recommend entering it from the back. You can literally fall out of this world. Yeah,
because as with you have no example to this, because portal doesn't do this, but with the portals, like, you can set it to move like in a perfect circle around the map, and if you try to enter from the back, you'll enter to the back of the other portal, which
will send you behind the wall, and this world doesn't have a way of freezing the player when they're outside the world, because there's no internal space. This is not an internal map. It's an external one, and you can pretty much go anywhere. But anyways, that's enough of me bragging about
If anywhere is a giant void that would crash the game, then yes, you can go anywhere.
Alright. By the way, those
It'll
are some...
open soon, smiley face.
Yeah, those are some fun textures. That should prove to you the one over there is blue and the other is orange. Those debug lines will make a lot more sense when you see them in third person. The blue line is the line between the player and the blue portal. The orange/yellow line is the line that is the equivalent transform position if the player were to go through the blue portal and enter the orange portal. Even though the player doesn't do that until they actually touch the portal. As you can see, it compensates when we warp through the portal. The player object is the exact same one that went through the portal, just like Valve's portal. The white line you see sticking out is the view orientation. The other orange-yellow line you'll see coming out of the player is the player's current velocity. The other one you see coming out of the other point that's floating in midair is the projected velocity. That's the velocity that if the player were to enter the one portal, they would come out the other side with. There you go.
And as Graham has previously mentioned, if the two portals cross, then they will only be measured on the x-axis. There is no y-axis. As you can see, it only moves on the x.
Let me just say that there's a lot of vector math behind this. Okay, for a final demonstration, I will prove that the portals are even more flexible than you may be led to believe. Right now they're static, but as a matter of fact, they can be mobile. And in order to do this, rotator. Let's see, GZ -4. Okay. Yeah, we're in local view, so that wasn't global Z, but as you can see, Z points out of this axis. I'm going to switch to this to be more comfortable. There we go. I'm going to stay in third person, just for now. You can see that the portal actually can move around here. The projected point follows it correctly. And when we jump out, our orientation and velocity is correctly preserved between the two portals. If I enter it facing forward, I'll come out of the other one facing approximately forward. The same is true for any other object.
And just to state the obvious, the player is the box.
I think we would have known that, Cody. As you can see, the projected point moves in a circle and pretty much exactly follows the other portal. Makes sense. As you can probably also see, when the two portals overlap, which is something that really should never happen, but does happen here anyways, the projected point and the player point become one and the same. So in other words, you warp out of the portal, you just end up coming backwards. Let me show you this in first person again, because you can see a very convincing effect. The fact that you can actually see through these portals somewhat. That ball you see is the ball behind me, the center. The ball is still in the center of the arena, and this is the center of the arena that this portal is somewhat moving around. You can see it, and as you can see, the camera is rotating around it. For some reason, the player doesn't render properly in the portal view when it's invisible. The player is invisible when you're in first-person mode. And if I follow the rotating portal exactly enough, you can see that the view in the rotating portal doesn't really change. I can't really follow it well enough to prove this, but someone else might be able to.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of complex texture hacking, but ultimately I got it. Again, you can use any other physics object. You can warp it through these portals as the two portals are moving, and the object will come out in a place dependent on the position of the other portal. So you can see when the portal moves into an object, it teleports it anyways, which can result in some fun when the object is laying right in the path of the portal. Well, there you go. Again, this is a little bit of a rough game, but you know, some textures might be nice, some models might be nice. If the player weren't just a box, it would be even more fun. I have some other player models, but I am no good at animation. So if anyone wants to help, you know, it would be kind of neat. In the meantime,
show them the jumping in backwards.
Oh, yes, as I said, the portals are never supposed to come off the wall, but obviously it's moving in a circle. It's coming off the wall. And there's a good reason for that. The other portal being on the wall, when you enter the portal backwards, you come out of that portal backwards. And through this paper-thin wall right here. And outside of the world, I don't even know where... There it is. There's the world. Say goodbye. Yes, you will fall infinitely in this world. There's no limit on it, as I said.
Until your velocity becomes so great, Blender crashes.
Yeah, well, Blender won't crash, really, but some of the rendering will start to get progressively more glitchy as you become faster and faster and faster. Anyways, there you go. That's this little tiny game engine. If you're wondering, here is a lot of the code that drives it. That's the portal manager. Player movement, mouse look. I'm just bragging at this point. Utilities. An old deprecated portal rendering module, but yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to see. Oh, and some of this logic stuff. This logic stuff's kind of fun. Especially this guy, the portal manager. He's got a little bit of fun in it. Alright. Oh, hope to see you. Rate and comment. Yeah, this is probably going on Facebook. So yeah, rate and comment.